All right, good morning, everyone. It's so great to see all of you this morning. I'm excited to be here with you all. I wanted to start off our morning by just kind of putting in the chat some of the takeaways that you have gotten away from this Win the Morning series. Like, what are some things that you've realized that once this morning series is over that you would like to continue? So go ahead and drop that in the chat, because I think as we do these things where we're trying to implement change and we're trying to create, just that idea of becoming more, like we talked about on Saturday's boot camp, if we're not taking those applications further beyond just this time together to where you're doing it on your own, then it doesn't mean anything, right? It's not going to do anything for us. So time, dedication, yeah, doing it alone. Awesome. Ooh, I love it. You guys are in there. Eat the frog. Yep. Structure is benefiting. Yes. Awesome. I love that, you guys. I love that you're actually taking some things away from what are we doing here? What's the point of this? Like, did we get together and say, how can we just pull everybody out of bed and make everybody exhausted and, jump on a Zoom? How can we torture people? Is that what we came in here to do? No. We came in here to see how can we provide value as a team to each other? How can we support each other? How can we create structure and habits that are going to be beneficial for the long term and ultimately for what this boot camp is called, but going to ED? Okay. So, all right. Second, I want to just, again, we've got, let's see, we've got 51 people in here. How many of you this morning are showing up today? How many of you are awake? And so if you're awake, I want to see you put awake in the chat. Like, get in there and let's be awake. Let's be present. Let's be willing to show up this morning. Who's ready to win the day today seriously? Good. Awesome. I was a little bit like, all right, where's everybody at? Are they going to be exhausted, tired? Did you have a good Valentine's Day yesterday and now you're exhausted and tired? Or was it a crappy Valentine's Day because you didn't get the flowers you wanted? What kind of mood are we coming in with? Awake and alert. Good. I love that. Awesome. Well, I'm glad that you're awake with me this morning, because I know that as I was preparing for this morning, I showed up last night to prepare for you today. And so when the trainers come in here, or, just us, we're just teammates in here sharing with each other our personal experiences. When we prepare, we want to see that you guys are engaged, that you guys are showing up, and that you're here as well. And so let's show up together as a team. So this morning, I wanted to go through the idea of your habits matter more than you can imagine. And we did talk about this last Saturday on the boot camp. I'm going to maybe expand a little bit on some of the training that I did on becoming more a little bit, just a little bit, but I want to take it from another slant, like another angle. And so, so this morning, we're going to just go through really fast. Your habits matter. They matter more than you can imagine. And the potential of your leadership is a direct reflection of the quality of your habits. What you do, what you repeatedly do, is who you are. Okay, so John Maxwell, he says, I can predict the long-term outcome of your success if you show me your daily habits. When I read that, I was like, yikes. Like, I go to Starbucks, I sometimes sleep in, I can get on these boot camps and tell you all the amazing things that I can do. Like, I make my bed, which I do my business building activities, which I do, but those things really don't take a lot of time. What am I doing with the rest of my time? Like, how am I showing up the rest of the time? So our minds are always changing. Oh, you know what? Before we do that, I guess we should throw in some what are we thankful for? So I love that you guys have been in here in the chat. Let's throw in some thankful fors, because I really want to make sure that our minds are going in the right direction. So go ahead and throw that in there. This community, yes, amazing. Aw, Beth, you're sweet. Fun, thankful for fun teamwork. Dawn, I love working with Dawn. She's actually part of my team and I love working with her. So I'm glad that you're on this morning, Dawn. Exercise, teammates, baby girls. I got some of those. I've got 4 and I love them to pieces. People say sometimes like the teen years are ridiculous. They say, sorry, you have all those girls. And I said, don't be. Why are you sorry? I am having the time of my life right now with these girls. So great. All right. So our minds are always changing. Over time, they grow, they change, they evolve. And, neuroscience, it shows us that the more we think a thought, the more we create that neural pathway. We're coaches. Dr. A has trained us amazingly well on this. We know what this means. So if you don't like where your thoughts are taking you, then you've got to change the way that you think. Before going any further this morning, I wanted to hit on the lies that we tell ourselves. So when we have these negative thoughts that come into our minds, we need to deal with those things, because if we are always moving in the direction of our strongest thoughts, then what thoughts are we thinking? If you're constantly thinking the lies about yourself, then your life is going to go in that direction. So I want to read a part of a book to you really quick. And you guys know that I think I've mentioned this book before, but it's Winning the War in Your Mind by Craig Rochelle. And if you haven't gotten it, it's incredible, especially for mindset work. But on page 43, he says, "Are you a prisoner, missing out on the life you want but believe you can never have? You crave close relationships, but you're paralyzed by the fear of rejection. You want to try something new, but assume that you are destined to fail. You long to be debt-free and give generously, but feel certain that that could never be you. You dream of losing weight and exercising, but feel resigned to fail yet again. You want to change, but think you never can. Why? Because you're constrained by a lie, something that doesn't exist. The enemy has arranged enough hurtful circumstances and key places of your life in which you got just enough of a bolt, a bit of a shock, a sting of pain to your heart, that you have decided that trying even one more time is not worth the risk. What makes it worse is that the number of places where you have stopped trying is growing even larger." That gives me goosebumps, because when I read that, I was like, oh man, how crazy to think that I can compartmentalize some of these places in my life where I'm like, okay, I'm good, I'm doing good, I'm doing good. But then the lies that I'm telling myself, over here in this compartment, it's actually starting to grow. And what's going to happen is that's actually going to start to overtake who I am and who I'm trying to become. And I'm not going to see that success in becoming more, because the lies are taking over and I'm believing them. So the tricky part about that lie is that you have to take it captive. And it's tricky because it can be a little bit difficult to identify what the lie is. So I want to just kind of think through this and take it back to, what problems do you feel like you are consistently having in your life? Identify those problems. If you can identify those problems, and there are these perpetual things that are always happening, like, maybe you don't have close relationships. If you don't have close relationships, or every time somebody gets close to you, you sort of back away, that's a problem. And so ask yourself these self-probing questions, because that will tend to lead you to the lie. And then what do you do with that? Well, then from there, you're going to put truth to it. So you're going to make a conscious effort to remove the negative thought and those negative statements from your talk. So today, when you're going about your day, make a conscious effort. Figure out, how many times are you saying things like, I wish I could, I can't, I won't, I never will, I shouldn't, who am I? When you find yourself saying those things, then let's rephrase it. And it's pretty mind-blowing, if you haven't really done that, to see how many times you tell yourself all these terrible things. Gosh, I wish I could be that kind of coach. Gosh, I wish I could hit that rank and go to Dallas. Well, instead, find a way to make yourself say what you're looking to say with different words. And I'm not saying, like if you're really struggling with something, that you're just going to tell yourself of something that's not true. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying, instead of saying, I wish I was ED, say, I am going to work hard and I'm going to serve a whole lot of people and I'm going to work my way to ED. And then you're going to work hard to build relationships and you're going to earn that goal. But you're not going to say, I wish I was ED, I could never make it. No, maybe you're not there yet, but you're going to say, I am going to work hard and I'm going to serve a lot of people and I'm going to get there. And this type of thinking will retrain your subconscious to change the way you view things. That's not to say that you're going to tell yourself the false statements, like I said, but it's to say things like, if your thought is, I'm not a leader, then flip the script. Am I a leader every day? Yeah, Actually, I am. And actually, you guys are too. Even if you don't think you're a leader, we all have a level of leadership right now. And even if you have, let's say you have one client, well, you're leading that client, you're a leader. And so I am a leader, and every day I am working towards growing my leadership abilities. You are a leader, you have influence, you have God-given strengths, burning passions, innovative ideas, and the ability and responsibility to impact the world that is desperate for hope and healing. Do you know that? Do you understand that? And like never before, our world needs humble, confident, bold, and leaders with integrity. That's what our world needs. And so for leaders, we are growing, we are evolving, we are changing, and it's mandatory. That's what you need to do in order to become that leader that's developing. It's to say, leadership is not what I do, it's who I am. And if we could take that idea of leadership and really start owning that, then we're going to start to lead our teams better. We're going to start to lead our clients better. We're going to start showing up better in our family. So think about that idea. I am a leader. Still got a couple minutes. All right. Take the idea of feeling like a failure. I wanted to talk through this one because I don't know about you, but I'll be really honest. Probably every day I wake up and feel, and now I have to fight this, but I wake up and feel like, okay, you guys want to know my true feelings? All right, great. How am I going to suck today? Now, that's me, you guys. Okay. So I'm just being honest, and I'm just like sharing with you that I feel that. Okay. But I identify it, and I identify it faster every time. And now I can say that more often I'm not thinking that, right? I'm not thinking that. I'm like, no, how am I going to show up today? How am I going to lead today? Who do I need to serve today? Who can I look for that needs, what I have to offer? So when we struggle with the idea of becoming more, rather than saying I'm a failure and that everything I do falls apart, say, today I will show up, and today I'll bring my best and then some. And that's what I'm going to bring. And when I bring my best, that's what's going to make a difference. So, I mean, I've been trying some new things, and I think that's probably why I'm like, dang, I really stink at this. But I'm going to show up with my best, because that's what's going to make the difference. Am I perfect at some of these things? No, I'm not. But I really want to grow in these areas. And so I'm willing to take that uncomfortable pain and say, all right, I'm not a failure. I'm learning something new. And our negative self-perception, it sabotages our success. We all have insecurities. We all have that negative self-talk, and we all have leadership insecurities. But what do we do with it? So there's two questions that I want to leave you with today, two challenging questions. All right, what lies are you believing that you need to reframe and put truth to? Really do the work of thinking through that, because you can't fight a problem that you can't clearly identify. If you don't even know the lies you're telling yourself, then how can you truly make progress in that area? And then who do you want to become this year? And how will you take today to make today one step closer to that person that you want to become? So I hope that you really think through those things today. I hope you guys would really just sit with it and write it out. Don't leave your thoughts up here. That's one of the biggest problems I have, is I have a lot of thoughts. I'm sure you have a lot of thoughts too. But when I leave them up here, they're not clear. I can't really fight them. I can't figure them out. I can't solve them. And I'm not a journaler. I actually kind of like fought against the life book when it first came out, because I'm like, I don't want to sit here and journal all this stuff out. I got it up here. But when I started to take the time to write it out, I was like, I've got clarity. Now I've got clarity, and I'm understanding like why I'm struggling in certain places. So yeah, consider those thoughts. I hope you guys have an amazing day. I have been so blessed just to be with all of you. And why am I getting teary-eyed? I just love you guys. I'm gonna get all weird. But you guys just bless me. I'm just so blessed that we get to do this together. And we got Power Hour at 9 o'clock. So I hope to see you on.